Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today to do a tag. And I think this tag was doing the rounds maybe even 6 months ago, certainly 4 or 5 months ago. I remember watching a few people, and it's the hashtag decks discovered through others. This is a VR to Robin at Toadstool Tarot, and like I said, lots of people did this tag around the time, but for whatever reason I didn't get round to it. But I was looking through my decks recently and realised that I have a lot of decks discovered through others, and I think I may have about 20 decks to show you today. So I will try not to take up too much of your time. Yeah, I'm drinking a coffee alternative here. This is chicory and barley, and you know, it's actually really quite nice. I'm quite surprised. I always thought it would be a terrible drink, but it's actually really quite nice, especially on such a grim day. You probably can't see out of the window there, but it's been tipping down all morning. It's supposed to reach about 20 degrees by the weekend, which would be heavenly if it did, but at the moment it's grey and drizzly and rainy and windy and miserable. So So without further ado, let me get on. So quite a few of these decks I'm now going to show you, because what made me think about doing this tag was I realised that I've actually got quite a lot of decks that I've seen on Nova's channel at Nova Lunar Tarot, and every one I talk about today I will link in the description box. So without further ado, let me show you the decks that I was influenced by watching the lovely Nova's channel. The first one is the Golden Tarot, and this is a US games system deck, and I had been eyeing this for quite some time. I still really like the deck. I worked with it just after Christmas, I think, for a period of time, and it reads perfectly well. I just found it a bit cold, really. I found that it yeah, I think I said in another video, I felt like this deck didn't like me. I don't really know why, but it's absolutely fine. It's a very nice deck actually in a lot of ways, but yeah, I don't think it was going to be a deck that I'm going to reach for on a regular basis for readings. I'm glad to have it in my collection. It will stay in my collection, but I've got other decks that are warmer than this one, and similar. And actually, I'll show you the next one. It's this one. It's the Serpent and Peacock art edition from Libra Moon, and I had seen this on Nova's channel and been oohing and ahhing and just totally in love with this deck, and I ended up ordering it, and I really don't regret it. And out of the two, this one is warm and it reads beautifully. What have I done with these cards? There we go. The guidebook is fantastic. I love the colour palette. I love everything about this deck. Even though it's kind of medieval and some of the images are quite strange, I just love it. I mean, look at that, look. It reads beautifully. I just am over the moon. I'm thrilled with this deck, totally. I love all the extra cards. I love the cardstock, but more than anything, I love the colour palette, and I just love all of these weird sort of cryptid type people, all these weird sort of half human, half animal type people that you see in a lot of these medieval decks. I just love it. I'm fascinated actually with this kind of stuff. So out of the two, out of the Serpent and Peacock, which are both kind of medieval type decks, I prefer this one hugely. So yeah, and I can't get that back in the box. It's a very snug fit. There we go. So yeah, the Serpent and Peacock, beautiful deck. What else have I seen? I think this is the very first deck that I saw on Nova's channel and oohed and ahed about an awful lot and then bought, and it is the Oak, Ash and Thorn from Three Trees Tarot. And I've been meaning for some time to buy some of their oracle decks. I'm not so keen on the dragon deck that they do, but this Oak, Ash and Thorn I just love. It's right up my street. It's earthy and grounded and soft and gentle. The cardstock, I mean, just, oh my god, the whiteness of them. Normally I like very, very colourful decks and I like to edge my decks, but this one will not be edged. It's too beautiful. I'm always afraid of getting it grubby, to be honest. So yeah, this one, the Oak, Ash and Thorn, is just stunning. I absolutely love it. So pleased with this deck. Nova, thank you. What else have I got from Nova? I'm pretty sure that this one I saw on Nova's channel. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was Nova also, the Reclaim Oracle. You don't see this too often. Who is this by? Marion Costentin. Yeah, copyright 2022, Little Darkness, Marion Costentin. And yeah, Little Darkness, it's the 3rd edition that I've got. I did a lot of shadow work with this deck last year, an absolute huge amount of shadow work with this deck. And even though the guidebook doesn't have a great deal to say, you don't get a huge amount of information about each one of the cards, but they just are, they just really resonate. You know, if you have inner child wounds, if you have triggers, if you have issues, this deck is just fantastic. We've got regret, boredom, resentment, success, strength, stillness, stability, sincerity, kindness, powerlessness, presence, trust, control, disappointment. I mean, every little facet of human nature there that we struggle with, it's all there, and it all really, really resonates. I think, like I said, there's not a great deal of information in this book, but what there is enough. Like the fear card here. Well, let's look at disappointment, as that's who I've got out on the top there. Disappointment. Oh, that should have been there. Oh, there it is. Disappointment is not seeing the beauty in our differences, the grace in my mistakes, the value in my shortcomings. It's hoping and not getting because you failed to believe in me, so I stopped believing too. Look at me. I am not you. Don't make me do what you couldn't do and pretend that I betrayed you. Cheer me on and I will heal both me and you. So, like I said, even though there's not a lot there, I think what there is in information is very powerful, and I think it latches on to our kind of psyche really, really well, and brings up lots and lots of thoughts and feelings. And there's just an amazing amount of work that can be done journaling with this deck, I think. So yeah. So what else have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was there another one? Let me just see. OashReclaim Serpent. Oh yes, there we go. Yeah, that one. This one is one that I've seen a couple of times on Nova's channel, actually. The Tarot of 1001 Nights. I bought this really just because I'm a big fan of those kind of stories and that kind of imagery. And I'd seen on Nova's channel that she had, I'm fairly sure she's trimmed these cards, and they are just beautiful. I absolutely love the artwork on these cards. And actually, surprisingly, I think they're going to read really well. I haven't read with them as such yet because I've only had them a week or two, I think. But I think that they will read really intuitively. I think there's enough about them. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to using these, actually. Like I said, I will have to trim them in some capacity, I think. Just because I don't like the languages around the card. We've got like, yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 languages around the card, which seems a bit over the top, but the images in these cards are just fantastic. I'm really looking forward to working with that deck. And really, really affordable, actually. I think I bought my copy from holisticshop.co.uk in the UK. It was about £20, I think. It was cheaper than Amazon, so yeah. And the last deck I've got that I'd seen on Nova's channel, which I just completely fell in love with, is the Goliath Tarot deck. Just, oh my god. I actually was lucky enough to find this copy on eBay. It was second hand, but it's in perfect condition. You would absolutely never know that this was a used deck. The cards are quite hard to get out of the box. I'll just show you some of them. Aren't they beautiful? I love animal decks, to be honest. And I know that Nova loves her animal decks. She's got so many fantastic animal decks. I love the guidebook. I wish that the writing was a little bit bigger in the guidebook for my poor eyesight. I have to wear my best glasses, I think, to read out of this guidebook. But yeah, it's just, oh, it's just a gorgeous deck. I mean, look at this. 2 hippos, the 6 of cups, the reuniting waterhole, the 7 of cups, the tentacles of illusion, the 8 of cups, the high door, the 9 of cups, the centered, is that the scent? Contented, oh, and the contented pelican, the 10 of cups, the joyous sky. Oh, they're beautiful. The page of cups, the sister of roses, the knight of cups, the brother of the wild, the queen of cups, the mother of crystals, the king of cups, the chief eagle. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I plan to, I think it will be June and July time. I plan to get all my animal decks out, of which I have a lot. And I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to devote the summer to looking at animal decks, and I can't wait. So yeah, they are my decks from the lovely Nova. And when I was sitting writing this list, let me show you, I realised that on my wish list, I have got some more decks that I've seen on Nova's channel. Let me see if I can just find them quickly. There we are. So what have I seen on her channel recently? I don't know that you can see that there. The Magicians, Martyrs and Madmen Tarot by Travis McHenry. So that's one I've seen on Nova's channel recently that I'm very keen on. I also saw this one, the Nemeth Tarot, on Nova's channel recently, which I'm very keen on. What else? This, oh, just this one I'm very, very keen on. This is the Northern Animal Tarot deck, and that's in my wish list as well. I have seen that on Nova's channel. I think that might be it that I have seen on Nova's channel. I think, yeah. So that's like 6 that I have in my possession, and there's 1, 2, 3. I've also seen on Nova's channel actually 2 more of Travis McHenry's decks as well, the Angel Tarot deck and the Occult Tarot deck, and they are on my Amazon wish list as well. So yeah, I have 6 of Nova's decks and probably another 6 that I would like very much. So bless her. Nova has just got the best deck collection ever, really. So what have I got next? I've got this deck I saw first of all on a Simple Altars channel. She did a video, this is Tarot of the Vampires, and she did quite a long video sort of reviewing this deck, and she'd been working with it for quite some time, I think, Rebecca, on a Simple Altar. And I really, really like it. It's by Charles Worthington, isn't it? Yeah. And no, Charles Harrington. Charles Harrington. Yes, Charles Harrington. Yeah. I would expect I'll lose the box for this at some point, because these big boxes do annoy me, but while I'm waiting to move, it may as well stay in its box. And I haven't read with this deck yet. I've played with it a fair bit. I've had a good look through it. I've had a good look through the book. And I expect to be reading with this sort of probably come Samhain time, the autumn. I think this will be a lovely deck to pull out then, won't it? But I love this. It reminds me of True Blood and, you know, old TV series like that. So yeah, that was a Simple Altar. There we go. Who have I got next? So the next one, and I did show these on my channel just recently actually. These 2 beautiful decks I discovered on Carrie's channel at Carrie's Mystical Musings, and I ordered these from America. Certainly not cheap to have shipped to the UK, but well worth it. It was cheaper really to have the 2 decks shipped rather than just the one, so that's why I did that. These are the Soul Trees Oracle cards and the Soul Trees Ascension deck as well, which is another Oracle deck, and they are literally just trees, beautiful bits of artwork of trees. And I have used these in a couple of readings. The little guidebook that you get is quite nice. There's only a few lines for each card, but it's kind of enough. These are very intuitive. I think you can get a lot from, you know, the colour palette, you know, like Inner Voice here. That's very High Priestess, isn't it? initiative, has, you know, the sort of colours that you might associate with your solar plexus, perhaps your chakra or your sacral chakra, the things that give you a bit of oomph and a bit of fire. So yeah, I've managed to intuit a fair bit from these cards, and they've been on my altar a few times. I'm really very happy with these cards. So that was Carrie's channel, Carrie's Mystical Musings. And like I said, I think I paid full price for this deck, the Oracle Trees, and I think I paid a vastly reduced price for this Ascension deck because it was supposed to be a slight second. I think something to do with the gilding on the cards, this purple colour. I'm not really sure what the problem was, but the cards are perfect to me. There's nothing about these cards that makes me think that they're seconds. I think I like this deck slightly better just because of the strength, you know, the depth of colour in this deck. Yeah. Although this Soul Trees Oracle cards is very spring-like. It's beautiful. So yeah, there's that, which now I can't get in the box as per usual. Oops. So that's those two. Who am I got next? Let's just have a little drink. Oh. So the next person I have been influenced into purchasing things by is Emzy, at Mystic Emzy, bless her. And the first deck that I saw on her channel and wanted to buy is this one, the Surrealist Tarot. And I think last year sometime I did a study of this. I tried to read with it, I tried to learn about it, and it just, I mean, well, I don't know how you would read really with this Surrealist Tarot. I've kept it because I love the artwork. It's fascinating. I've got quite a lot of decks of artwork that mainly I keep because of the artwork, not because they're decks that I will ever read with particularly. But I do enjoy this very much, and it was interesting to see if I could read with it. But I couldn't. I mean, some of the cards are not very surrealist at all particularly, are they? Like this one, the Queen of Cups. You know, you can tell immediately this is the Queen of Cups. But there are other cards where you're just like, what? What? I was just trying to find one. I mean, you can see this is the Hermit. Some of these cards, you can see who they are, but yeah. Fried egg for the sun. The Seven of Swords there. Look, just such a weird deck. That, like I said, is great because of the artwork, really. It's just a really interesting deck. The next deck is a deck that I had seen Emzy talk about an awful lot on her channel. She was really enjoying working with this, the Symbolic Soul Tarot, and it's a low Scarabeo deck. And it was one that had been on my wish list for a while. But then Emzy very kindly bought it for me and sent it to me for Christmas. So I was over the moon with that, really. Just such fascinating cards. They actually read really well, I've discovered. They're very intuitive. They're not difficult to read with at all. But the only thing about them is that you end up sitting, you know, pondering them quite a lot, because what I've discovered is the longer you look at the cards, the more weird things you discover in the cards. You know, like, I don't know, the Magician. I mean, what's going on with his arm there? You know, you just discover all kinds of really weird and funny little things in them. Like, we're not used to seeing a dog chained to the moon, are we? I've probably gone past some of the more weirder cards. This one of Judgment. They've got like these funny masks on, and they're really interesting. This one, the Ace of Cups, look, as a hand coming out of a face. The Four of Cups, this cat. A cat with a fish on his head. Just so funny. They are so funny. You know, this horse here, he's got one leg in the water, all the other legs out. Which I suppose figures, doesn't it? Yeah. I really, really like this deck. I'm sure that I haven't quite gotten round to it in my practice yet. Although I've done a couple of readings for myself, but I'm sure that you'll see more of this deck at some point on my channel. And the other deck that I saw on MZ's channel and just fell in love with is this Tarot Cats. It is the cutest and the weirdest little cat deck I think I've ever seen. It's such a funny little deck. And again, I have not read with this because I only bought it just after Christmas. It's going to be used June, July time, because when I work with all my animal decks, I'm going to work with all my cat decks. But these are just so funny, aren't they? Look at them. It's a far cry from the gorgeous, gorgeous cats in my Mystical Cats tarot. These cats are quite funny. I mean, look at the Emperor there. He's really grumpy looking, isn't he? He looks quite bored. The Lovers. The Chariot. So funny. The Hermit there, look. The Wheel of Fortune with a monkey. Oh, look at Strength. This is just the funniest deck, I think. And I think this will read beautifully. I can't see any reason why not. It's got lots of Rider-Waite-Smith imagery going on. It's very intuitive. I mean, look at that. Look, the Five of Cups. You can tell immediately what's going on there. Yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to reading with that. It's such a cute little deck, that is. Tarot Cats. And again, not an expensive deck at all. It's a Fournier deck, this one, by Anna Juan. Probably pronounced that wrong. Right, how long have I been talking? 28 minutes. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. Who have I got next? Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. I've got two decks here for Sandra. The first one, which I saw on her channel sometime last year, I remember. This is from makeplayingcards.com, this little deck. And it is the Mouseboat Tarot. And I just, oh. It is the cutest little deck. I just love it. It's so whimsical. I love all the little animals in it. The mice, the fish, the rabbits, the birds, the hedgehogs. I mean, how could you not like this cute little deck? I hope you can see it. It's quite small. It's in order because I have shown it, but I have actually worked with this deck a bit. I have actually used it, and surprisingly, it does read really well. Look at this Strength, look. the kitten and the mouse. The hermit there, look, in his little bit by the river with the frog. He reminds me of a hamster I had as a little girl. I loved hamsters. I love all these little creatures. There's robins here and blue tits and and boats and rivers, and I mean, what is there not to love about this deck? It is the cutest. So there's that one. And actually both the decks I'm going to show you from Sandra are the cutest. Look, it had to go in a cute tin. This one I saw quite recently on Sandra's channel. This is from Zeppelin Moon, and it is the Blooming Lovlies deck, and it was really, really affordable from Etsy. I think it might have been, oh, I don't know, £25, something like that. And it comes in this nice little box, and you get a bag with it as well. And it's not really an oracle deck as such. It's more sort of, or what I would call an oracle deck, really. You know, there's no guidebook with this, but it's lots of little inspirational sort of messages, I suppose. And some of them are really funny and really cute, like this one. Sun's out, bum's out. You are star-born, solar-kissed and lunar-blown. Why wear your sad face when you can wear your banana? You were once wild too. Take the route less travelled. This one, my hot shit brings all the flies to the yard. Absolutely bloody lovely. Start afresh, said the egg. Remember nothing except how to get out of your shell. Dance on the back of a crocodile. Look up, baby, it's all for you. A beetle has better places to be. I mean, on a gloomy day, how could you not love pulling a card from this deck? I've had some of the cards from this deck on my altar several times. I think they're just the cutest, aren't they? So there's that one. Those two decks are from the lovely Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. What have I got next? So the next deck is from Giselle at Mad Witch, and it's the Tarot of Light. And I think sometime last year, or maybe even the year before, I'm not entirely sure, because I'm coming up for 3 years with my channel now. I saw this on her channel, and it's by Denise Jarvie and Tony Carmine, and it's a Blue Angel production, this one. And this is not a deck I reach for too often, but it is beautiful. It just is gorgeous. I edged it this lovely matte gold, which I think goes really well with the backs of the cards. And I think the reason why I was so keen to get this deck was the trees. I love any deck that is full of trees, that is full of greens. So yeah, I think that's what drew me to this deck more than the other suits, was the suit of trees, which I think are the pentacles. The others are all very pretty as well, but it's definitely these trees. I love this one, the Six of Trees receiving. They've got a nice little keyword on each of the cards. Look at the Queen of Trees. Just beautiful. I used the teacher in my Hierophant recently. It's really nice. The Seven of Trees. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So yeah, but actually the guidebook for this deck is wonderful. It really has a lot of information in it. You get a description, a meaning, a rider-weight correlation. You really get a lot of information. It's a fantastic deck. Yeah, beautiful. Who else have I got left? So I've got 3 more people actually with their decks to talk about. The next one is Carrie at Tiara, Princess of Wands. And I've got one deck that I've bought that I've seen on her channel, and I've got another couple that are in my wish list that I have seen on her channel. And the one that I bought, and I managed to find this second hand on eBay, because this is an out of print deck now. I think the Tarot of the Animal Lords. It's Lo Scarabeo. It's quite an old deck, and it's a real cutie actually. It's all animals. Tarot of the Animal Lords. What have we got there? The Queen of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Ten of Swords. Oh look, the Nine of Swords. This wolf trying to force this little buffalo type creature over the cliff. The Eight of Swords. Look, a mouse on a female body stuck in a web with a big spider. Lizards is the Seven of Swords. Oh, the Five of Swords. That's not nice, is it? Yeah. Really, really lovely deck. Like I said, I love my animal decks. They just make me feel so warm and cozy inside. I feel like I really relate to all the animals in all my animal decks, really. So yeah, that is a gorgeous deck. Like I said, I think it is out of print, but there are copies of it knocking around if it's your sort of thing. And I'm trying to think what... Let me just see. Let's go back to my gallery. So the decks that are on my wish list that I've seen on Carrie's channel also are... Let me find them. So this one, the Travel Pocket Oracle, and this is from Tarot Mania. And the only reason why I haven't ordered that is because it will be expensive to be shipped. And then I also had seen this one on Carrie's channel, also the Madhouse Tarot deck, and I am desperate for that. I think that's going to have to be like a special birthday or Christmas present or something, isn't it? Because look, that's £105 to be shipped to the UK, which is a shocking amount. And I would imagine that with the Pocket Oracle as well, I'm probably looking at about £150 if I ordered them both. So that is a lot. That's the reason why I haven't ordered either of those, because that's just too much, to be honest. That's going to have to be a real treat. But I'm sure that they will be bought at some point. The next person is Patsy, and I had seen the Sacred She Tarot on Patsy's channel and absolutely loved it. It's a beautiful deck. I can't remember when I bought it, maybe just before Christmas, last autumn sometime, because I did buy so many decks in the late part of last year. I mean, it was a shocking amount of decks, actually. I've slowed down a lot. This is beautiful. It's by Ma Diva Padma, and she is the creator of the Osho Zen Tarot and the Tao Oracle, which I've also got here to show you. This is just a beautiful, colourful deck. I really, really like it. And the guidebook actually really makes this deck really meaningful. As you can see, it's in order because I haven't read with it. I've looked through it, I've read the guidebook, and as you can see, it's incredibly intuitive, quite contemporary, nice keywords, really nice cards, not difficult to read with at all, this deck. and a lot of information in the guidebook. Like we've got the moon here, which is anxiety. And look at all this we've got here. All this information. The sun, joy. The tower, crisis. The devil, repression. Beautiful, isn't it? Solitude, the hermit. That's just gorgeous. Yeah, I must get this out and work with this deck. I must. I don't know if there's many animals in this deck, whether that might feature in my... It's not, is there? Well, there are quite a few. Maybe this might feature with my summer decks of my animals, actually, because there's a lot of animals in this deck. I think that will be a good deck for June and July, won't it? Because it's got that really summery vibe about it as well. So there's that one. God, I'm so bad at getting cards in and out of boxes. There we go. So there's that one. And I've got the Osho Zen Tarot, and I thought after I bought the Sacred She, I saw this on eBay again, secondhand. And it's in perfect condition. I got it for a really good price. And while I don't think that the I Ching, I don't know, it's not something I've ever studied before, and this book is huge. It's got loads and loads of information in it about I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it I Ching or I Ching? But anyway, there's a lot of information in here. This would take a great deal of study, I think, if you wanted to use it in that way. But I've looked at it a great deal, and I think I probably shall get rid of this box because I don't like that. But I think I shall be just using this as an oracle because I really like it. Like this one, Gathering Together. And it's got the keywords massing, converging, unifying, assembling, combining forces, and the sum is greater than the parts. Duration, constancy, continuity, endurance, perseverance, maturity, strengthening, stability, a deep commitment. Biting through, taking decisive action, restore order, force applied with sensitivity, justice, tenacious devotion to a task. So these are brilliant cards, I think, as oracle cards. Difficulty in the beginning, the wanderer, obstacles, opposition, contemplation. Yeah, I mean, as an oracle deck, I think this is fantastic. I'm hoping that towards the end of the summer, I'm going to have a Ma Diva Padma month, where I'm going to use the Osho Zen, the Sacred She, and this oracle as well. And I'm going to use them all together and see how I get on. So that is my plan. I also discovered this deck through Patsy as well. She very, very kindly gifted me this deck. It had been on my wish list because it's a kind of arty story and a story sort of deck. I haven't read with it a great deal. I have read with it for myself. I think I would probably find it fairly tricky to read with for other people. And you don't often see this deck, I think, possibly because I think people could take offence at some of the imagery in this deck. It's maybe not that popular, but I love the artwork of this. This is the art of Henry J. Ford, who did the artwork, I think, for, is it Robert or Richard Lang's fairy stories? So, I mean, I love this kind of thing. We've got fairies and sort of beautiful maidens and all sorts of you know, knights and dragons and castles and all sorts of things. But I think there are a few cards in this deck that potentially show slaves, if I'm correct. You know, it's a deck of its time. So I don't think, I mean, look at this one, Judgment. Blimey. So I don't think that this is a deck for everybody. But I think if you take it at face value at what it is and what it's meant to be, I think it's a really nice little deck, actually. And I'm really pleased to have it in my collection. I will hopefully get to know it better over time. So I've got one person left. I've got Gigi from, oh, her channel name's gone out of my head. That's terrible, isn't it? I'm going to have to look. Gigi. I know who you are, Gigi. I'm sorry. Let me have a look. Gigi Starling. That's why I'm having trouble, because you changed your channel name, didn't you?
It's Gigi, and welcome to another video.
Gigi Starling. So yeah, it's Gigi. And where is the deck? There it is. So I saw this on Gigi's channel last year, and I just couldn't wait to get it, actually. How do you open this? It's the Tarot of Oneness by Robin Voicey. It's, I don't know who it's by, actually. I'd have to look in the book. Let's have a look. I don't know. Robin Voicey, copyright 2023. It's a beautiful deck. This is definitely coming out when I do my animal month, because there's just so many animals in this cute little deck. Look at the beautiful orange gilding on it. It's a lovely, lovely, colourful deck, and it has some extra cards in it, actually, like this one here, the Higher Self. Really, really nice. Look at that for the High Priestess. You totally get that, don't you? Even though there's not even a person there. On the Empress. It's beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, this one is being kept aside to work with in my animal month, because the vast majority of the cards in this are animals. I say that. No, I'm not getting any of them, am I? Animals. And where are the animals? Well, we've got an owl, we've got a horse, butterflies. I still think this is a very good deck. This is a nice card. Present moment, synchronicity, the Ace of Cups. I still think this is a nice deck to go in with my animal decks in the summertime. It's just got a very summertime vibe about it, I think, hasn't it? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I actually saw another deck on Gigi's channel recently as well, which I've got screenshotted in my wish list, and it's the Keeper of the Sacred Bee. Keeper of the Sacred Bee, which is this deck here. And I don't know who it's by. I can't remember. Kelly Burton, maybe. But that's on Etsy, and that's another sort of 50 odd pounds. So I've got quite a few decks on my wish list that are not mass market and not cheap. So I'm hoping over the next year or so that I will chip away at those, or maybe I'll be lucky enough that my family will buy me one for my birthday or Christmas or something. But yeah, that is all of my decks. How long have I been talking? 49 minutes. Well, that's not bad, is it, for about 20 decks, I guess, plus several others on my wish list. So they are all my decks discovered through others, and an awful lot of them discovered through the lovely Nova's channel, and I'm sure I will go on to discover many, many more through Nova's channel. But I will link everybody in the description box that I've talked about today, and hopefully if you haven't seen their channel, you'll give them a look. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Please do say hello if you've got any of these decks and you do work with them yourself. I'd love to know. And yeah, take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.